Alright guys, welcome back to Metroid Prime 2. Last time we met in Metroid Prime 2, we explored the Dark Agon and got the two temple keys that we were missing. So now actually, I believe we're heading off to fight our first major boss of this game. I guess you could count Dark Samus as the first major boss. But an issue has occurred. The Metroids are free. Someone released the Metroids. It was probably my dumbass when I was firing off at them earlier. But you may be wondering, what the hell do you do when Metroids are about? You know, what do you? How do you defeat them? The Dark Beam. The Dark Beam, since it is the equivalent of the Ice Beam in this game, you have to use the Dark Beam. But besides that, there's nothing else. But so right now this part is dedicated to we're actually finishing up in Agon, because that's just what we have to do. Because once you get the Dark Temple keys, the game, the game's like, hey, you can go fight the first boss of the game now, but we have to cut back through the Space Pirate Lab in order to do so, because in order to get to the area where the temple was in the first place, is we have to be outside. We have to be in that respective region, which is going to use that big portal that requires you to scan it before you can use it. But what I'm actually doing first is actually trying to get a scan log for the Metroid Cocoon, because that is a scan log that you do need. And it's actually pretty easy to miss because, you don't want to hang around Metroids for too long. The other thing, there's also another scan log that you want to scan, which is infant Talon Metroids, which come out of the cocoons when you get close enough to them. Or you shoot one. Yep. Honestly, the infant Metroids are kind of adorable. But, I've played too much Metroid Other M to know that baby Metroids are also horrible. Because I swear to God, when I do the Metroid Other M Let's Play, I have a request for my future self. Edit in, do a counter of how many goddamn times the word baby is uttered in that game. I don't care how crazy that request sounds. I want to do... I did the Snap Cube reference counter back in the Marvel Spider-Man Let's Play. So I don't see why I can't do a baby counter for Other M. And I'm talking like every instance the word baby is said, including myself saying it, Samus saying it, anybody saying it in the game. Hell, if for some random reason I play Mass Destruction from Persona 3 in that Let's Play, I want those counted. It's gonna be like also the same way if I ever do a Kingdom Hearts Let's Play, the word darkness. The word dark or darkness, I need a counter. Because, my God, it is going to be a lot. Yeah, so this is actually one of those things I was talking about with myself with this game, is there are times where I'm kind of hesitant to go forward or go backwards, or I'm looking at consulting the map and stuff like that, because I don't know where I'm going. Again, because I don't replay this game as often as other Metroid games like Prime 1, Prime 3, Super, Dread. I'm trying to think of other Metroid games I play often more than this one, but you get the idea. So yeah, actually another thing is you can actually control the turret here, but you only really need to do that for a couple items, or really just an item. But that's actually our way of getting back up here in case I fuck up. But the only thing you can do is shoot those explosives. One of them I just shot to blow that up to make my platform, but you have to shoot that one right there. You could also shoot those, but I'm not realizing that the explosive I need to shoot is legit right there. Yeah, it's right there. I'm not staring at it, but I do see it in the corner of my eye right now. and I'm probably thinking, where the fuck is it? And that's probably me standing there is reading the guide, trying to understand what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah, because this is just a platform to get yourself back up, to get yourself up here in the first place. But I can't get past here because of, well, that. But in order to get back up there to shoot the turrets, I have to either A, go through the long way, or I can just use the double jump. Because I think I just have just enough. I don't think I was intended to use the double jump to get back up there, but I could be wrong. I do know that once you get the spider ball, you can use that to get back up here. But that's, you know, that's, again, way later, and that's when we do not the Boost Guardian, the Spider Guardian in the Sanctuary Fortress. Which I haven't gotten to yet. I haven't recorded Prime 2 in a while. The last session I did was like a couple weeks ago, because I've been trying to record more Assassin's Creed first, because that's a live Let's Play, and I would say, if I'm remembering right, I think I'm heading towards the Sanctuary. No, I'm not, because I haven't fought Chaika yet. Never mind. I think I'm about to fight Chaika. Like, I think I got the last of the Dark Temple keys in Torvis, but I haven't gone there yet. I know I fought the Alpha Blog. I almost died to the motherfucker, but that's for a different thing. But I'll get into that later on. I'm missing a scan log. I think I realize it in a second. Oh, and by the way, yes, I may have bitched and moaned about the beam ammo, but you do gain expansions for beam ammo. So once you start getting expansions for it, it's not a huge problem anymore. Like, it's not as bad as it was. It's still annoying to deal with because, again, it's ammo for a weapon type that didn't need ammo back in the other games. So why does it have ammo now is my question. But whatever. But luckily that means there's only really 3 types of beam. Actually, no, there's 4. I was about to say. I forgot about the Annihilator beam, which uses both light and dark ammo. But I'll get into what that is later. In fact, I don't think the Annihilator beam has any similar properties to any other beams. Like the dark beam is similar to the ice beam, and the light beam is similar to the plasma beam. I don't think the Annihilator beam is similar to the beams back in Prime 1. I would say the wave beam, because it technically does go through walls for a certain type of puzzle we will learn about later on. But no, technically it doesn't do what the wave beam did in Prime 1. I'm trying to remember the beams we got back in Prime 3, because unlike this game, unlike Prime 1 and Prime 2, Prime 3's beams stacked, which makes me wonder if they're going to bring that back for Prime 4. I doubt it, considering that they do have a way to make the beam switching work they would have that. I mean, that's what it worked in. Sorry. It worked in Prime Trilogy, and because, you know, that was kind of the challenge with Prime Trilogy versus Prime 3, was that, you know, with having to switch beams. Oh yeah, I missed a missile expansion. Yeah. Because back in Prime 3, they didn't have the ability to switch beams, because I guess they didn't really think about how to do that at first. And I think also because in the trilogy version of Prime 1 and 2, you had to hold the plus button, if I'm remembering right, and then point the cursor towards whatever beam you wanted to equip at that moment, which was a little harder to do because, you know, it wasn't as smooth as, say, moving the C stick like now. Because, you know, with the Prime 2 and 3, with Prime 2 and 1 on the GameCube, it was just moving the C button, the C stick, to whatever direction you wanted it. You know, if you wanted the dark beam, you go to the right. If you wanted the light beam, go to the left. And then same for Prime 1. You know, I don't remember the formation of the beams off the top of my head. I think it was wave was on top, so it was up, and then plasma was on the bottom, Wave. I already said wave. Ice was on the left, and then the right was I'm trying to remember the fourth beam. Did I say wave? I think I said no. I said wave. I said plasma, wave, ice. I know there's one more beam in Prime 1. I'm trying to remember it. Plasma, ice, wave. No, wait, no, that's just the four, right? That's just the three. It's just those three, right? Yeah, it's just those three. Because the power beam goes into whatever slot you moved it up to. So like if you did the dark beam, the power beam would go to the right instead of the left. Resetting the beam though was easier in Prime Trilogy because all you had to do was you just had to click the plus button once and it would just reset to the power beam no matter what. But I am very curious what beams they will bring into Prime 4. If, I would assume they are. I'm more curious about the psychic powers that are coming to Prime 4. I'm really genuinely excited for that because that's something new. That's one thing I like about this Metroid series right now is that they're really introducing new abilities for Samus, and the developers of the Metroid Dread, Samus Returns, and Prime 4. I mean, I know they're all different developers. I know Retro Studios is the one in charge of Prime 4, and then I forgot the studio's name for Dread and Samus Returns. I know it's the same people for both of them, but I can't remember their names for the life of me. Okay, yeah, I didn't scan that dark portal because I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, you have to scan that dark portal. I think if I remember right, you have to scan the big portal you make from scanning in the GameCube version. But they changed it in the Wii version to where you could just scan any dark portal you wanted. I'm actually going to look up the developers. If I just know Metroid Dread, I'll know. Mercury Steam. Okay, I was like, I knew it was something. I knew it was something with an M. It was something. It was Mercury Steam. Yeah, Mercury Steam did Dread and Samus Returns, and I really do like the fact that they're giving Samus new abilities to use in those games in the form of the Aeon abilities. I really like those abilities. I know some people have some criticisms towards it, but me personally, I actually really do like the abilities. I think they're cool. So I'm actually kind of, but Retro is kind of interesting me with the new abilities for Samus to use the psychic powers. I look forward to that. And also, I've just kind of always been a sucker for characters with psychic abilities. I mean, I love Silver the Hedgehog from Sonic 06. He's one of my favorite characters in the Sonic series, and it's mainly because of his telekinesis. And, the idea of the Force it's fucking awesome. So, yeah, Samus having that is just fucking badass, all right? But, I mean, I'm very curious to see what that's going to play like. And I'm actually probably going to play a little bit of it with the mouse controls for the Switch, too. Because I do want to mention that I do actually have a Switch, too. I mean, I did do that test video that I uploaded where I played... What did I play for that, if I remember right? I played Breath of the Wild. I know that for a fact. I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild, Dread, and it was a Fire Emblem game, was it? It was Warriors. It was Warriors 3 Hopes, I think. Because I was using Warriors 3 Hopes specifically because I know I used that in one of my previous capture card tests, and I wanted to use that as the benchmark for differences. Because that was just what I wanted to do. Because I did notice that Warriors 3 Hopes performed better on the Switch too, but that's mainly because, natively on the Switch 1 it was fucking horrendous. I mean, I love that game, I really do. I love 3 Hopes. It's one of my favorite Warriors games because of just, it did a really good job incorporating the gimmicks of Fire Emblem within a Warrior style. It did it better than the first game, I'll be honest. the character variety is a little lacking because it's all three houses characters because it's just three houses. But it's still better than what Warriors 1 did in terms of gameplay. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm standing here like an utter jackass, it's because I need to recharge my health. Because I think I want to enter the battlefield with at least 2 energy tanks for this boss battle, because that's just how I am. So yeah, enjoy about, 2 minutes of me standing here like an absolute idiot because I needed that. I needed to charge up my health. This isn't the only time I do this, by the way. I'm pretty sure I do this at least 3 more times throughout this entire Let's Play so far. And I'm probably going to keep doing it. Because Dark Aether is dangerous. And I will say, for the boss fight, they do give nothing. For every boss fight that takes place in Dark Aether, which is all of them, mind you, they do give energy fields for the most part. I think the only one... I don't remember if the Sanctuary Fortress boss doesn't do it. I don't remember. But I know this one does pretty well. And Chaika in Torvis does. I know that. But for the most part, the boss battles do a pretty good job in giving you light barriers. You know, the Boost Guardian doesn't, which is bad fucking design to begin with. But the Boost Guardian overall is just it's fucking unbearable. Just drinking a Diet Coke. Don't worry, I don't drink. It's like I'm just drinking a Diet Coke. Just cracking a cold one with the boys. Man. So how about those Mets? Baseball season's over, isn't it? Baseball season. When does baseball season even happen? It's over, isn't it? It's like way over, right? I don't know. I don't pay attention. I know basketball season just ended because the OKC Thunder won the big championship, and that's like the one thing Oklahoma's got going for it right now. What's that? I live here? Yeah, I didn't care. I'm going to be honest. I genuinely didn't care. I mean, I was like, yeah, cool. We won. But, you know, that's all right. That's cool. I don't care. But, you know, I like the only thing I was really concerned about with the whole thing was I knew that if Oklahoma didn't win, most of the people I work with were going to be in a pissy mood about it because they treat sports like it's like the biggest part of their lives, I guess. And I'm just like, you guys are fucking stupid. But all right, so I guess I decided to say fuck it and go into the boss battle because I'm done waiting. And plus, I have enough energy. I think I'll last. And that is not. And by the way, I am gonna say this: you can get pickups from this boss battle, because you know it's a Metroid game. When you destroy its projectiles or whatever it throws at you, you can refill your health and ammunition. I'm trying to see if I could scan it from a distance before I start the battle. Nope. They learned from the Omega Pirate. Oh. So, yep, this is our first major boss of the game. This is our first major boss trio. And, I could make so many jokes with this. It's called Amorbis. Yes, it is called Amorbis. So I hope future me is doing exactly what I hope he's doing for the description name and the thumbnail. And if not, I will be genuinely disappointed in him. Then again, future me is kind of a dick. And yes, just like anything else, you do have to scan the boss battle, and you do have to make sure you scan it for every phase, because every boss battle has different phases. So I guess I should get into the strategy of the boss battle, because this one isn't that hard, compared to, like, Chaika or, well, Chaika is only difficult because he takes fucking forever. And Quadraxius, I can't remember anything about him. I haven't fought him in so long. So what you want to do is you want to destroy its armor plating, and when you do, it's going to go back to its orb there, and it will gain a horn or whatever, and you need to destroy that too. When you destroy that, as soon as I destroy it, I'll get into it. There you go. So once you destroy it, it'll try to suck you in, go into Morph Ball, drop some bombs, and there you go. You defeated. There you go. That you took a chunk of its health away. Because every time it gets hit, it's going to hit the ball like that. But you can't physically hurt the ball in any way. You have to use Amorbis to do that. I don't know what the ball is. I don't know what the purpose of it is, but yeah. And Amorbis has 3 heads, and he adds 1 every time you damage him, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Never mind. But for every time you damage him, he adds 1 head. So right now there's 2 Amorbis heads roaming around. But once you destroy its armor, it'll it'll jump into the ground, and then it'll go into the it'll go latch itself onto the orb in an attempt to oh no, you have to defeat all of them at once. You have to break all of the armors, I guess. One tip, use the light beam when you can. Especially for all the Guardians, because all of the Guardians are weak to it. I mean, don't miss with the light beam. Don't waste ammo like I'm doing. But yeah, once you destroy Amorbis' armor, it doesn't matter which one you go into. You got to go into at least one of them first. But yeah, this boss is not that bad. It's repetitive as all hell, but that's just kind of the thing with Metroid bosses in general. I think Chaika's the worst of it, though, to be honest with you. I don't like Chaika. I remember taking forever to kill Chaika. And yes, that is the boss's name. I am not saying a slur or anything like that. I like this boss theme, though, I gotta admit. Honestly, I really do like Metroid Prime 2's soundtrack. I think I mentioned this before, but I like Metroid Prime 2's soundtrack. Not more than 1, mind you. One's is still my favorite. Actually, I still don't know what my favorite Metroid soundtrack is. I can't think of the favorite. Because I really love almost every soundtrack in the Metroid series. Like, even Other M. I think Other M has some good themes in there, too. I mean, I guess you could argue the Game Boy version of Metroid 2's Return of Samus, but that's not fair. There is no music in that game. I mean, and I also could say I never played Metroid Prime Hunters, so I don't know what the soundtrack sounds like. Same for Federation Force and Blast Ball. I never played them, so I don't know. I don't know what they sound like. But then again, there's nothing stopping me from listening to the rips on YouTube, except Nintendo's lawyers will come after me. In fact, I'm pretty sure saying those words is making Nintendo's lawyers come after me. Doing this fucking Let's Play is going to send Nintendo's lawyers after me. That's actually, like, the thing about, you know, that's what sucks, like, about being a Nintendo fan, is that people think that I support, you know, that I condone what Nintendo does. Not necessarily. I know that your dollar speaks and all that shit. I get that. But it's like, I don't necessarily condone what Nintendo does. You know, like, sometimes Nintendo does stupid shit. I will admit that. Nintendo, I have seen some stupid-ass shit out of Nintendo. But, I mean, it's one of those things where I kind of just separate the art from the artist, if that makes sense. You know, Nintendo, they make genuinely great games most of the time. So, you know, to avoid playing them because Nintendo did something, you know, outright stupid, you know, especially for a game that wasn't even related to Metroid. You know, the only time that Nintendo did something remotely stupid with Metroid that I can think of is when they DMCA'd the Metroid 2 remake. When they took down another Metroid 2 remake because Nintendo was working on their own version of a Metroid 2 remake, and they just weren't ready to announce it yet. Like, that was kind of fucking stupid, especially since it was a big project that literally everyone knew about by that point in time anyway. Like, there was just no way that Nintendo never heard about another Metroid 2 remake by that time. But, like, I didn't actively boycott Nintendo. I didn't actively boycott Metroid 2, Metroid Samus Returns. I didn't boycott it because of that. I just said, well, you know, I'll support the developers because, one, it shows that I want more. It shows them I want Metroid games. Oh, and by the way, yes, we are first now getting our upgrade for defeating Amorbis, which is the Dark Suit. So what does the Dark Suit do? I think I already mentioned what it does, but the Dark Suit basically lowers the rate at which you lose health for in Dark Aether. It doesn't negate it, but it does lower the rate. So earlier, your health now, like before, our health drained like a motherfucker. Now it drains like 1 point per second, like 1 point, you know, every couple seconds. It's nothing. It's not that fast. It's not as fast as it was when we were just in the regular power suit. So it makes things a little bit more manageable and brings my anxiety levels down a little bit. Not by much, but it's better. What time are we at? Okay, I was just curious. And yes, once you finish off a boss, you need to make sure you go back in. You come in here and take the energy from Dark Aether because fuck those guys. Honestly, though, I don't like the Dark Suit's design that much. I'm not a big fan of it. It's the shoulder pads to me. You know, the various suit had some massive shoulder pads, but this is fucking ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's like, Jesus. It's like Samus is like 90% shoulders now. Just to be frank there, it's just 90% shoulders. But besides that, I like the suit. I like the colors. I like the coloring. You know, that's why I think if I ever play Samus in Smash Ultimate, I did use the dark suit alt pretty often. That or the what was the other one? It was another alt that I like using with Samus specifically. Where am I going? Oh, I'm thinking that there's a lore in there, but there's not. You'll never run into the hologram, the lore of the Luminoth lore, like the holograms. You'll never run into that in Dark Aether, if I remember right, because it's Dark Aether. The Luminoth die upon entry, so there's no way. Gentlemen? Yeah, but we're done in we're done in the Agon Wastes, at least until further notice. We do have to come back for different items and stuff like that, because clearly we did not 100% the Agon Wastes, because, you know, there's no way. And there actually is a couple of not major upgrades, but they are upgrades that I would recommend getting soon, like, but I won't get into what they are until way later. But I do know that if I remember right, the last time I left off in the sessions was backtracking to Agon for certain items, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I haven't played in a while. I need to record a session sometime this weekend. And by the way, when I say this weekend, I mean like Tuesday and fucking Wednesday. I mean Wednesday and fucking Thursday, because that's technically my weekend. Because I work Saturdays and Sundays. So when I say this weekend, I mean my weekends. It's crazy that I have to say that my Friday is Tuesdays. I say that a lot. It's like, yeah, man, my Friday is on Tuesdays. Fucking space pirates. Or dark pirates. This is not Dark Commandos. I can't wait for that. I don't want to fucking attempt that shit. I fucking hate Dark Commandos. And if you're wondering what the fuck a Dark Commando is, no, it's not a space pirate without pants or without underwear on. But it's worse. It's worse. But I think we do start running into them. Oh, that's the end of the part. Okay. Yeah, I was right. There was a time where I do end the part by going back to Light Aether. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this part for Metroid Prime 2. So the next time we meet Metroid Prime 2, we're going to be heading back to the temple grounds to return the light to Agon Wastes. And then I believe we're going to start heading to our next area, which is the Torvus Bog. But I'll get into all that later. So see you guys next time, and take care.